Tuesday's edition of the Top Flight television program, Morning Ride. And this morning we are being joined with one of Nigeria's and NGOs. We call him Wongbox, the wolf. I'd like to welcome you, Victor.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to have you.
Thanks for having me once again.
On a very short notice, you had to respond to our call this morning because I know that you were part of it all. I'm sure, although much younger than, when Delta State was created in 1991, precisely 27th of August. 33 years down the line, we've had the military, we've had the civilian rule, and we are still counting. How would you assess our performances so far, quickly?
In terms of which aspect, because there are a lot of areas.
Yeah, you can look at various aspects. Okay.
In terms of economy, Delta State is so blessed. In terms of land mass, we are so blessed. That has to relate with relationship with agriculture. We are blessed. Like Shimili South, for instance, I'm talking about the capital territory. We have Oko community that is blessed with fishing, all sorts of agriculture. They are even blessed with kaolin, natural resources that are used to make this teacup, breakable plates. It's excess in this Oko community. They even have access to crude oil. The only challenge we had was, I think, after Governor Kowa became governor, we started having challenges of insecurity for our farmers. Because because the president didn't do well, the President Buhari didn't do well because during the COVID, I'm talking about 2020, while the southern borders of Nigeria were banned, were closed, there was a border shutdown that nothing can come in, nothing can go out. The northern border, the president announced that all Fulanis from all over Africa that they can come to Nigeria, which was very, very wrong. There was no database, there was no profiling, there was nothing. And also, prior to that, 2015, this man, what's his name? This is Rufai. He also played a very bad role because they promised President Jonathan that they are going to make his government ungovernable. And by so doing, they empowered the bandits. That was how the bandits came in. And the bandits are externals. Because prior to now, we should take note that our Fulani guys, they were wonderful guys. They were not troublesome. They were very peaceful. I'm talking about the Nigerian Fulanis. We were living together. I remember those days growing up in Asaba here. I actually grew up with the Fulanis, with the Northerners in Asaba. They call it Uba Hausa. If you can recall where they call Uba Hausa, that's Hausa community. I actually grew up with the Fulanis, the Hausas. Together, we live as one. We love each other. Even till date, I still have a lot of Muslim Fulani friends that were my childhood friends back then in the early 90s. We are still friends till date. We are still very close. I still go to visit them, spend quality time with these guys. So the Nigerian indigenous Fulanis, they are not the ones that are, I'm just speaking from my relationship that I have with them. They are not the ones that are violent to our people. I'm talking in terms of going to farms. Because 48 hours ago, there was this man that reached out, Mr. Alex. He reached out, he said that his farm was this Fulani, that they came in with cow and they destroyed all his crops. So it's so unfortunate, but I had to hook him up with a platform whereby each region of Delta State, there is always this relationship with the Northerners. To let you know that the federal government depends on us, Delta State. You saw that Tumpolo was given the contract to protect the pipelines, and if you take note, you find out that since the region was handed over to Tumpolo, there have been this peace. Apart from this Kwama community crisis that was not well managed, it would have been prevented if persons that has the mandate in the government took proactive action. Because prior to that incident, it was online, it was on all platforms. They were crying that, our government, mostly those things that are into conflict resolution, they should sit up. Because the governor cannot do everything. That's why he appoints people. But Our people are so petty. Political appointees, they are so petty. When you want to stand up for academy, know that you see something, you say something. If I see that there's insecurity, say for instance in Asaba now, I choose to keep quiet because of my political appointment. I'm not doing the public any good. And I'm there as a public servant. You are not the private government servant, you are a public servant.
Senior special assistant to the governor on civil society, right?
And NGOs.
And NGOs. So Delta at 33, I'm aware that the civil society organizations have existed even before Delta State was created. Now that you've been, you are also part of it in the sense that they have given you that authority to, negotiate and see how the local communities are faring in terms of...
because we want to become better. We are not going to control what you do. You do your thing, and till date, they have never one day maybe tried to control my activities.
So what are those activities that you've been able to do, or you've seen that Delta State have achieved in terms of helping the common man?
Yes.
Using your office?
No, look, apart from using my office, there was something Governor Kowa did that no governor has ever done.
Okay.
As I speak to you, sir, currently, in the 25 local government of Delta State, every vice chairman is a woman.
Okay.
Female. That means that they are sending a message that women have equal rights with men. He did it before, and they did it again during the time of His Excellency Sheriff. And the role for him to do that, civil societies advocated for that. That women, this is women's right, women in power. We must bring women in power. Look at those country. She's most powerful.
Friends of the people.
No, look, we represent the people's interests, but look, activism, many people don't know the meaning of activism and the role of activism. Look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin King Luther, he was friends with a lot of politicians. He lobbied for the civil rights that people are enjoying today in America. That today you can have white people and black people stay in one bus, white people and black people in one train. And there was a time when it was black people have their toilet, white people have their toilet.
Right.
Look, it was lobby. You must lobby as an activist. You must you must lobby. You must work with politicians if you want to go far. For the interest of your people, because if you want a better system, you must engage clear for them, because these guys, they turn over 9 billionaires, all of them. They turn over 9 billionaires. They don't care. There's no tax. Do you know that usually in the other crime, there's what we call tax refund.
Okay.
There's deductions from your salary on a monthly basis as a government worker. Right. By the end of the year, the government refunds you the money that were not used. NSC was supposed to be returning funds that were not used for the interest of the workers. Okay, how many TV they came from Ibanke, all those nearby Abuja, all those areas, they came to Abuja to burn. We said no, you can't let these people that came from other communities leadership for President Buhari. So that is my own stance. Nobody needs to die. If I know that, because the truth is, yes, you want to protest. Now, how can you protest for a protest that you don't even know the organizers? Somebody just designed poster and post on the internet, social media, and Nigerians, they lack most social media. Most Nigerians, they lack analytical or logical reasoning. They just follow everybody. Protest. Who is organizing the protest? You get my point? Yeah. So people should learn how to look well. Like, I've always been on the front line when you talk about organizing protests in Delta State over the years. And when I want to organize my protest, I make sure I communicate with the DSS. I make sure I write to the Commissioner of Police. I make sure I write to the Governor of the state. And they provide me with security to follow me. And make sure that the protest is not being hijacked. And I make sure that most times I prefer working with I prefer working with civil society members, so that the process will not be hijacked. Okay. Because any little mistake, if the process is hijacked, you will regret. Because look. Nigerians should start knowing now that the IMF, the World Bank, a lot of hidden hands, Western world, who is funding the Boko Haram? It's the French government. The American government is aware. That's why you see that ordinary bandits or Boko Haram can kill a military man, because they are well trained by the foreign military outfits. And take note that why they are doing this to Nigeria is because they know that Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
You have quite a beyond the coast. So from the political purview, as we begin to round up, have we done so well? Beautiful.
We have done so well in Delta State. Okay. We have done so well, and we are going to do more. Just like more. Just like His Excellency says, the more agenda. Look, we are going to do more. Okay, let me come from Governor Okowa's, BJ. Governor Okowa built the new State Secretariat for Civil Servants. That civil servant office is now like bankers, like they now enjoy what bankers enjoy. If you go to other states, for tourism, a lot of road network, despite the contractors betrayed him because standard bill of quantity. But when you assign the contract to me, I went there and did some substandard. So now Governor Okowa did a lot of, when you talk about roads, in fact they started calling him the road master. Because look at Asaba, Asabana House real estate, Asabana House hotels, courtesy of roads, because when you build roads inside those rural areas, it will advance to an urban or urban rural area. Look at Abanam. Land to purchase a land 100 by 100 land there. The village said boom. Almost the whole southeasterners, they are relocated to Asaba because of there was peace. There is this peace that you observe in Asaba, in Delta State.
Relative peace.
Yes. There is this peace that you observe. Despite there are little trickles of tension lately, but this is our natural peace and tranquility. So Governor Okowa did our Asaba Specialist Hospital. He completed it. There's a lot of projects. Even when you go to Warri, the floating markets, there's a lot of projects Governor Okowa did at in terms of infrastructure at the riverine areas. Education, he did so well. Renovation. Look at the vocational and tech education, because he wants our children to be creative, to have technical skills. He invested so much in, to the extent that we now they are doing serious jobs going on at Warri. Just better quality now coming in. Okay. So look, I'm in this government by His grace of God. Special thanks to His Excellency Okowa. Special thanks to His Excellency Sheriff. Special thanks to Senator Ned Nwoko. Special thanks to Honorable Penny Baba. They played key role for myself coming into PDP, working with PDP. Okay. You understand? So Delta State at 33 is a good one, and we should also thank God for the gift of life.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Victor. Engineer Victor Ojei, Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency on civil society and NGOs. Yes. That's the idea. Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Tuesday's edition.
Thank you so very much for having me here once again.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Celebrated Delta at 33, but this time around we'll be taking it from a different perspective, talking about the Renewed Hope Initiative, which is almost becoming a mantra virtually everywhere, and cascading it down to Delta State, most especially with the good works that Her Excellency Dickiness Tuberi Oboriwori is doing. in your capacity as the Senior Special Assistant on Mass Mobilization, uh, what's your perspective about the initiative?
Well, thank you once again for having me here. Well, the Renewed Hope Initiative is one window through which Nigerians are being empowered. It is actually a federal government initiative being championed by the First Lady of the President. However, the Renewed Hope Initiative is meant for Nigerians is always looking out for opportunities to give Deltans a sense of belonging through empowerment programs of such, through medical outreaches, other welfare programs that the Excellency has been championing. So recently, the Renewed Hope Initiative was flagged off in Delta State because of our passion to see that people are giving meaningful, inclusion in governance activities.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, and I saw all that transpired that day in a magnanimity to synchronize with the First Lady. Over 1,000 women.
Yes.
Were actually.
Okay. There's a point you need to also know.
Yeah.
What the federal government had was 50,000 per beneficiary.
Wife of our dear governor also bought in, and like he said, doubled that amount.
Yes.
From 50 to 100,
Yes.
just to empower our women and making sure that our communities thrive through women empowerment.
Yes.
Now, how sustainable? Because I know that this is a grant.
Yes.
So how do they make sure? Are there people in place, team already established, or brought in to make sure that they follow up on these women? And how sustainable is this initiative or policy going to be?
Okay, the state has an agency putting up a program within the next few weeks or so for Deltans who are into businesses. There is a system put in place for that. I think the DG of that agency is the person of Reverend Godwin Adolo. I met with him, we interacted, and I will still be meeting him. I'm just being discreet with information so that I don't like to divulge information that are not verifiable and not mine. But I know there's an agency, I've interacted with the man, and the governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Ogboriwori, is a seasoned administrator and is someone who understands the importance of resources and how effective of Delta, and not just the petty traders, I mean entrepreneurs in Delta State, would definitely be seeing a lot coming their way, because the more agenda of His Excellency is to see that every Delta prosper and thrives in their various endeavor. So every opportunity, every government program is geared towards that direction. Recently, I think he told the Commissioner for Agriculture and the Chief Job Creation Officer to go and put up programs that will, benefit especially the youth, because that's the force that drives any economy and builds any nation. So you see, his focus is how can we, empower our youth economically to be able to. The entrepreneurs are in for a big deal from this administration.
So how do you make sure that the same people benefited from perhaps a program doesn't come back again? Because you are the SSA on mass mobilization. How do you mobilize these women? Because sometimes we just see them on the news. We're not aware. We don't even get to hear that such a thing is happening. So how do they pick these women?
Okay, like this past empowerment that took place, I was involved.
Okay.
Yes, I was involved from the selection process
Processes, yeah.
till the implementation process. I was with the people that disbursed these funds to those who were on the list. Now, the selection process is done through, I'll call it micro units. Every, governance is a collection of people from different federating units, wards, and all of that. So it is through that same channel that the people were, okay, they would say, okay, from your ward or from your community, let's have 1, 2, or 3 names. So
if you say ward, means that maybe PDP ward 1
no,
or
no,
APC
this
ward
was
2.
it was you saw for yourself. The president's wife is APC. The governor's wife is PDP. So it was not a party affair. It was a people's affair.
Yeah.
People's affair.
Yes, so
I like
it's a people's affair.
Okay.
They are governing the people. We are no longer campaigning. So the issue of your APC or your PDP is no longer there. The question is, are these people into petty trade? Verifiable people, okay? You can't take everybody at a time. Delta State had just 1,000 slots.
Okay.
So how this 1,000 is distributed, sometimes, it's through this same process. Do you have petty traders that are verifiable? Perhaps you are in Asaba, and they are petty traders from your community. You call somebody with integrity and say, are there petty traders who would need this support? And they say, yes, okay, give us 2 names. So it's not something that it was done at random, just bulk name. People recommended. And there is a documentation of those who have benefited, such that if, for instance, they want to do another batch of 1,000, you don't come to get twice. There is a system that automatically throws out a name that has been given before.
So we have that data.
There's a data, yeah. There's a data, both soft and hard copy.
Manual
Yes.
and automatic.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so quickly, as a follow-up to that question, there's no gainsaying the fact that we did not, you wouldn't have experienced pockets of people who wanted to do a short change, probably not being physically present and wanting to collect by proxy. So how were you able to manage, or did you experience that?
Yes, there were some skirmishes in during the process. For every, like I would say, for every 12, if Jesus had a Judah, 24, you have 2, 36. So the more the number, the more Judases you will find, and nip that issue on the board. Otherwise, it would have been something else. Monies would have gone to the wrong hands. So what we did was, you see, the government of Governor Sharif has a system of checks and balances. He believes in local governments, even in every act. Phone number has your means of identification. So even if you come and say, this name belongs to me, okay, what's your phone number? Where's your means of ID card? So that was where some of them were caught. How can you say, some even come and say, okay, what's your name? Say, let me see the name. Say, how can you don't know your name? So you will always experience this kind of issues when dealing anything that has to do with money. You always find it's somebody that wants to steal. So you need to put security checks also in place to curb those kind of excesses. It was a very smooth process, and I'm very sure everyone that would have benefited.
Have they been credited?
They collected their cash.
Because I saw the flag, like a dummy check presented.
Yes, actually, look at what happened. The notice was some persons didn't get the messages. Perhaps maybe their network providers and all of that could not allow those messages to deliver. So there is a provision for those who attended the flag off.
Okay.
So it will not be nice for you to come today, then now come back another day or go home without seeing. So those who were there, who were accredited, there was an accreditation process.
Yeah.
When you come, you look at your name, the ticket, you go in. So it was not just a bush.
Credited.
Yes, credited in the accounts.
Okay, so because I mentioned earlier that I saw that is a grant.
Okay.
So it's not like it was given free. They're going to pay back.
No, it's not. It's free money.
Okay, it's
to
free.
add to their business, not really free. It's
Not
given,
really free.
When I say not really free, it's like a seed capital for you. So
how
you're
are they
not
going
to,
to
when
pay?
I mean free money, you know, sometimes you go and do what you like. It was intended to boost the businesses of petty traders. So they are expected to put it in their business.
No, are they expected to pay back?
No, they're not paying back.
So are they going to be monitoring them to make sure that they are using it
Well,
for
the
the
monitoring
purpose it was
process,
credited?
let me be honest with you, nobody's going to come to begin to look whether you spent 100,000 in your business. That's your business.
That's
Stand before people and say nothing has happened. I say it's
Okay.
sad.
maybe this person was expecting like 1 million.
That's the problem.
Over a million.
If I tell you what
then-
I get on a daily basis on my Facebook, WhatsApp, text message, and I ask them, what were you expecting? At the moment I'm appointed as senior special assistant to the governor, I start stealing money? I said, come on, let's change the mentality. It's crazy. You see somebody's appointed to office, the next thing, family members begin to, you know, price land, price car.
On your behalf.
It's a call to serve. What you should expect from public officers is they should ensure that the dividends of democracy and the policies of government get to the people. And that's what we're trying to do.
All right, so quickly, I think that is just before we let you go.
Wow. It's quite nostalgic for me because I remember the jubilation that rented the air on August 27th, 1991, when Delta State became an entity of its own, you know, from Bendel State. You know, I think I was about going into secondary school then, and we used to write Bendel State. You know, while I was in primary school, we used to go to school with chalkboard, slate, they call it slate, you know, and a lot has changed. I can say that. But then there is still more to be done because we must face the fact that we don't have any other state to call our own. We don't have any other nation to call our own. So in everything we do, we should also see that this is our home, this is our place, and we must put in all that is needed to make Delta better. 33 years, well, as a young man at 33, if you have been able to do structural development is critical to industrialization of the state. It's opening up communities where we have raw materials that can connect over 15 communities in Ughelli South Axis. You know, looking at how that's completing that bridge, which I think the job there is on top jar, would open up the economic activities in those areas, which, you know, is also an opportunity for investors to come in to put processing plants in those places to harness our local agricultural production. And I think the Ayakoromo Bridge also is also receiving attention, that cuts across from Igbo the community in Ughelli South down to the Ijo. And I can see that each of the administrations have put in a lot of effort to see that Delta State advances to the next level. And the more agenda is critical about that. And
were dependent on oil. So I like the fact that you mentioned infrastructural development that has happened over the years and still happening. But can we also look in towards the tourist attraction sites that we currently have in Delta State and maybe do more in terms of developing this site and then adding more attraction sites, just like we have people visiting Israel, people going now, talking about Nigeria, people go to Lagos on vacation just to enjoy life.
Yeah.
So we have some sites in Delta State. Do you not think that it's high time we started developing those sites to also make money from there?
very, you know, good submission from you know, but then you would always, first thing I look at in any administration is the policy direction. you go do your thing, and that's it. You can even call for Deltans to buy shares in your business. You see, so the opportunity for all is not yet being explored by Deltans. Okay. People can't wait for the governor to say, okay, I want to do this for you. You will come to government and say, well, you said you are giving opportunity for all. Can we explore this area of opportunity? We have X amount of money to invest. Can you? I think that's where the
Excellency on mass mobilization. It's actually been nice having you with us.
Thank you, sir.
And invite you to be with us. We'll also be looking at other topical issues where I know you're very vast in. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
So as Delta celebrate 33 years, we do hope that it will be for greatness.
Sure.
All right, so we'll take a break now, and when we come back, most likely, definitely we'll be saying our goodbyes. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Governor Sheriff, they give us more better things for Delta.
That's why you're so na truth.
Na truth, oh. This Ugele why they stay so. Yes. Governor Sheriff, they do roads.
That's why, yeah.
He not only they do roads, so they also they do drainages. And you know, say Governor Sheriff, they ready to give Deltas the best.
Yes. He talking now before he enter power.
As man, you they talk so. Adakbrasa road. Adakbrasa now, where you take they go they meet that girl.
Which one?
That girl will say she not go fit marry you.
Okay.
Governor Sheriff don't rehabilitate Adakbrasa road. Yes, so. It's just about 1 year where Governor Sheriff enter power, so in don't start and complete different projects. Some of them he rehabilitate them.
More agenda on course.
Yes, so.
You see, this thing when Oga Peter they talk so. Now truth, just about 1 year in office, Governor Sheriff don't complete different projects, and they still they do more. As I dey road they travel the other day, I see and say Governor Sheriff they do. Overlay of Ejegba community main road down to the roundabout.
Now that one you dey talk. Me, I just dey come from Oriso. When I hear say Governor Sheriff they do flyover and say na Julius Berger, I say make I go see with my eyes. Seeing is believing. I reach then I saw they look. I see and say Governor Sheriff they construct flyover from PTI Junction to DNC roundabout. I say now wow, Governor Sheriff just start. He go start with legacy projects. So. And it dey progress so even as we dey talk so.
More agenda.
Governor Sheriff transforming Delta.
This village Ounde, so this road now Wagba village. We thank our governor, Governor Sheriff. The road better for us, so we feel pass the road well now.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
All through morning. Yeah, so if we Delta 33.
Let me adjust my card so that they will see that I'm actually representing Delta State.
Yes.
Very well today.
Yes.
So Delta State at 33, we've said it all. thanks to our exceptional guest that we had on the ride today. So we see a lot needs to also be demonstration. Just like our governor has promised us more agenda, we're hopeful. Like our last speaker said, the we have more M-O-R-E. Then the second one, which is opportunity for all, is just a proposal, submit it to the government. And in terms of, I'm very particular about tourism, maybe because I read, that's what I read. Okay, tourism, we need to harness what we have on ground and see if we can even put more facilities on ground to be able to now start looking away from oil and not so dependent on oil. Delta State is a rich state, and we're hoping to tap into that richness and become rich and thrive.
Area of specialization.
That's it.
Yes, we'll see all of that happen.
Amen.
All we just need is just open up the process. He said it all by way of the moral agenda of His Excellency. So to come your way, the crew is quite extensive. We have a producer. We also had a presentation director.
We have wine, so we have juices, but we can't show it.
No, we can't share it.
Because you know why? We don't want to start marketing and advertising for them for free. So if but away from now, we're going to pop our champagne and the wine and dine because we're alive and we're celebrating regardless. We're celebrating.
All right, so come your way same time next week. See you at the top. My name is Ono Metano. God bless Delta State, God bless Nigeria.
My name is Ifeosita Alonwa. See you next week, Tuesday. Bye for now.